it's Dustin with Tech MD. Today we're going to do a quick repair. We're going to use this. I like to buy these because I buy the back glass and this, and then you have two parts and you can separate them and use this whole thing. If you want to just buy the camera lens itself, that's a different video. But this video is if you buy both parts. It's a good way to save money. Anyways, I'm going to get this. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a very thin tool like an iFlex. This is a grip tool. It's really good. And just do one little spot there so we don't mark up too much of the back glass. The idea is not to mark it up at all. We're going to run our tool along the back. Now I did put it on my heating mat for about 5 minutes at a little over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is in Celsius is about, I think, like 85. Anyways, we're going to cut along here with the iPlastix tool. And usually when I cut this out, all the adhesive sticks with the frame, so I'm surprised that it did not this time around. Let's try to grab that adhesive. And it just totally came out. That's a bummer. So you can try to stick this back on so you can reuse it, but if your adhesive comes out, you need to either use T7000 or new tape, new Tessa tape, but I like to do T7000. So we're gonna go ahead and just peel that off since the whole darn thing came apart, unfortunately. Now, when you break your camera lens like this individual did, see it's all exposed in here. You can go right through. Oh, actually you can't. Okay, so it's good. So he didn't expose it, but when you do expose the rear camera lens, it can cause problems with the rear camera. So it's best if you do crack it to go ahead and tape it right away until you get a rear lens. Now you don't want to break the back glass so you can reuse it. So just cut along the rear camera lens here. Just like that, and it should come right out. It gives you a little bit of trouble, just keep on cutting. I absolutely think that it is safer and easier to replace just the just the lens itself. The reason why we're doing the whole thing is because of that savings. But this is more for the advanced technician, so leave that with how you like. So anyways, we need to get this plastic piece and this microphone over to this here. So we're gonna just set it on our heater for another 1 minute and loosen up that plastic piece, and then we'll loosen up the microphone. And there's several reasons why I like to use T7000, because it is a water sealant. It turns into basically the Tessa tape. Is a little bit more difficult to get rid of, but if you ever worked on a Google Pixel or a Motorola, it's pretty much what they use. So I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol, since my back frame is, or my back glass is removed of the adhesive, and we're going to clean it and so that we can get a nice stick on the frame. But at this point, you could replace the back glass if your back glass is broken, so this video is good for that as well. All these parts are in the links in the description. So I'm going to warm this back up, and so that way we can loosen up the adhesive a little bit more and clean it a little bit better while we're working on the camera lens. Take some tweezers and just carefully lift this up. If it's all melted, they're hard to find or to replace. So what I've learned is they do melt. If you're just replacing the back glass only, I'd recommend protecting the plastic lens. If you leave it on too long, it could damage. So let's see if this thing just falls straight out. It does. Well, that's because we just need to put a little bit of glue to make sure it holds down, but you really don't need to seal it. Just make sure you don't put anything on the lens itself. Okay, next, if it's still warm after doing that, you should be able to cut off this microphone. Nice thin tool. Lift up a little bit because there's a little edge there. There's some stickiness still to this, and I'd prefer to reuse that. Best way to do that is to make sure you have good heat. Okay. Now there's these little, I don't know how to describe them, but they're rubber gaskets. It helps seal the back camera lens. So we want to take all these gaskets off. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the heater one more time. You should be able to pull those off. When Samsung replaces them, they're very wasteful. They just scrap the whole entire back glass, and they don't actually just replace the lens only. And same with the if the back glass is just broken, they'll just scrap the whole darn back glass and throw away the rear camera lens, even though it's good. So this is a good way to preserve either one for the next repair or the next break that you may do if you're at home. You know, you never know. So the leftover residue is being pretty stubborn. I can't get anything else out without using a harsher chemical, and we don't want to do that. Gotta dig deep is what I wasn't doing right. I think that bottom one's harder to take off. If you ordered the new original Samsung screen, you wouldn't have to do this back screen. Here in the United States, it's pretty hard to find. Double check it, make sure there's no dust or anything that came through. Check your lens, make sure there's no dust. And there is something on there. So what we're gonna do on the camera lens here is just wipe it. I'm gonna try to take some clean tweezers and take this glue that is on the lens off without scratching the lens. Okay. We already got some adhesive right there, but I'm just going to put just a tad of liquid adhesive on. I'm going to put my back glass back on the heater. Just get nice and toasty. Helps to seal. So for clamping, there's a couple ways. You got a customer waiting. I like to use tape. Other people like to use actual clamps or like some books. When I was mobile, I just told people to put a couple books on there for a couple hours and then they can use their phone. But I found the packing tape to be the fastest way to continue to use your phone. So just put some initial clamping force on it for about 30 seconds. Before you do that, you can, before you put your back glass on, you can test the rear camera, make sure you did everything correctly. Okay, so clean any residue up. Just get a microfiber rag with some alcohol. And that's it, guys. Simple as that. Oops, didn't notice the camera's off. But yeah, simple as that, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and more money saving and detailed videos coming in the future. Thanks.